Welcome back. Start over. Welcome back to Myth and Magic, the podcast where we grab our cozy socks and favorite drinky drinks. What are you drinking? Tell me in the comments below. And dive deep into the enchanting world of folklore and legend. I'm your host, Lore, and today we are setting our sights once again on a figure who, while familiar in spirit, has a distinctly different flavor than his Western counterpart, Ded Moroz, the Russian grandfather Frost. Maybe I should have worn blue, but we're in red. We're in the spirit of things, just maybe not the right color. Many of us are well acquainted with Santa Claus, but Ded Moroz offers a fascinating glimpse into Slavic traditions and their unique approach to winter festivities. So let's peel back the layers of this intriguing character, shall we? The etymology of this character is directly translated to grandfather, so Ded, D-E-H-D in pronunciation, Ded, and Moroz means frost. So quite literally, he is Grandfather Frost. This name itself hints at his deep connection to the harsh, often magical nature of Russian winters. His historical origins are deeply rooted in Slavic paganism. Before the advent of Christianity, ancient Slavs revered a powerful deity known as Morozok or Karakun, a personification of winter itself, capable of freezing rivers and bringing biting winds. This ancient spirit was often feared as he could bring death and destruction with his icy breath. Over time, as Christianity spread and blended with the existing pagan beliefs, the stern winter spirit began to evolve. The birth of Ded Moroz, as we know him today, isn't a single event, but a gradual transformation. He absorbed characteristics from various Slavic winter spirits and eventually, under the influence of Russian Orthodox traditions, began to shed some of his more fearsome aspects. His modern form largely coalesced in the late 19th century and was significantly shaped during the Soviet era, becoming a central figure in New Year celebrations. Let's visualize his appearance. Unlike the jolly, rotund Santa in his red suit, though that is changing a little bit as we develop culturally ourselves, Ded Moroz is typically depicted as tall, slender, with a long flowing white beard, so maybe a little closer to what's depicted on my earrings-ish. His beard often reaching his waist. He wears a long, heel-length coat, usually in blue, silver, or sometimes red, adorned with intricate white patterns resembling frost. He carries a magical staff, often sparkling with ice, and on his head, he wears a traditional Russian hat, often adorned with fur. So he travels not in a sleigh pulled by reindeer, but in a troika, a traditional Russian sleigh pulled by 3 horses. And he's almost always accompanied by his granddaughter, Snegurochka? I hope that's correct. Or Snow Maiden. We're going to call her the Snow Maiden because I don't want to keep messing it up if I am. But she was a beautiful young woman in a silver blue gown, herself a fascinating figure of Russian folklore. What is his purpose? While both bring gifts, Santa and Moroz, their primary roles differ. Santa Claus brings presents on Christmas Eve, focusing on children's good behavior. Ded Moroz, however, traditionally brings gifts on New Year's Eve, signifying the start of a new cycle and the promise of a prosperous year. His role is less about judging good or bad and more about ushering in the new year with celebration and hope. He often arrives to entertain and distribute gifts at New Year's parties and public events. His personality tends to be more regal and benevolent than Santa's jovial demeanor. He is wise, dignified, and kind, embodying the ancient wisdom and enduring spirit of winter. While he has a stern air, he is ultimately a beloved figure who brings joy and well-wishing. Ded Moroz possesses incredible powers and attributes. As Grandfather Frost, he commands the very elements of winter. He can freeze water, conjure snowstorms, and create intricate frost patterns. His magical staff is a key symbol of his power. He has immense strength and resilience, capable of enduring the harshest cold. He is also often depicted as a protector of the forest and its creatures. In terms of symbols and depictions, his staff is paramount, often topped with a star or a snowflake. The troika and the 3 horses are also iconic. His long, ornate coat, often trimmed with fur, is a visual representation of the elegance and power of winter. And of course, the Snow Maiden is an inseparable symbol representing the beauty and purity of winter. Historically, there wasn't a concept of worship and cults for Ded Moroz in the same way as ancient deities. However, the reverence for winter spirits was of appeasement and respect for the powerful forces of nature. Over centuries, these traditions evolved into more celebratory and less fear-driven interactions. Modern worship of Ded Moroz isn't worship in a religious sense, but rather a deeply ingrained cultural tradition. He is a cherished figure in New Year's celebrations across Russia and other Slavic countries. Children write him letters, and families gather for New Year's Eve, eagerly awaiting his arrival. Public New Year's trees are lit, and Ded Moroz, often accompanied by the Snow Maiden, makes appearances to distribute gifts and lead festivities. This modern worship is more akin to the festive celebration and cultural importance placed on Santa Claus in the West. Ded Moroz also found his way into art throughout Russian history, from traditional folk art to more contemporary illustrations. You can often find beautiful depictions of Ded Moroz on Soviet-era New Year's postcards, which are a true art form in themselves. Many contemporary Russian children's books feature stunning illustrations of him and the Snow Maiden. You can look for works by artists like Ivan Bilibin. Even if his primary works aren't exclusively Ded Moroz, his style captures that fantastical Russian aesthetic. You can also find intricate hand-painted matryoshka dolls, or Russian nesting dolls, depicting Ded Moroz, and these make wonderful examples of folk art. In pop culture, Ded Moroz is a ubiquitous figure in Russian and Slavic media. For a classic animated experience, I recommend checking out the Soviet-era animated film Ded Moroz and Summer. This isn't one that I've seen, but I would like to. And it is from 1969. It's a charming story about Ded Moroz wanting to experience summer. For something more modern, he often appears in animated specials on Russian children's television channels like Carousel. If you're interested in music, simply search for New Year's songs on platforms like YouTube, and you'll find numerous children's songs featuring Ded Moroz as the central figure. He even makes appearances in some popular Russian comedies and holiday films, although those might be harder to find with English subtitles depending on your region. And of course, there are countless stories about Ded Moroz, from ancient folk tales about the stern but just Morozko, such as the famous fairy tale Morozko, which has also been adapted into a well-known Soviet film from 1964, to modern children's stories about his adventures delivering gifts with the Snow Maiden. His narratives often emphasize themes of kindness, generosity, and the magic of winter. Many tales explain his origins, his powers, and his benevolent nature, solidifying his place in the hearts of generations. Ded Moroz is a captivating figure, embodying the grandeur and beauty of the Russian winter while bringing joy and hope to millions. He reminds us that in the coldest of seasons, there is warmth, magic, and the promise of new beginnings. And speaking of beginnings, as we wrap up today's episode, I want to let you all know, I've mentioned before, but we'll be taking the rest of December off to celebrate the holiday season with our loved ones. We'll be back in the new year with more myths and magic to explore. As I mentioned, I went down a rabbit hole and I'm taking you all with me, but it should be a lot of fun. I did my best to limit how many of these I did. I think there's 7. Hopefully you are into what we're going to be talking about, because we'll have more videos on that specific subject than what we've kind of been doing, where we've done more 5, 6 videos on a one cultural subject. But hopefully you'll enjoy it. I certainly had a lot of fun doing the research for it. Okay, thinking about more modern takes on Santa Claus, there is a particular version of him that has come out within the last couple of years, or I guess maybe 5-ish years. I don't know when the first one came out. There are 2 movies who make me think of Ded Moroz might have been maybe an inspiration for a little bit of a change on the Santa Claus figure. Let me know if you can guess what I'm thinking in the comments below. And if you have any suggestions for what we're talking about. Yes, the next segment's already planned, but after that, I am adaptable. I haven't done research for what we're going to be doing after our New Year videos. So let me know in the comments below. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. I hope you're having fun. If you are writing a winter tale or a holiday tale of New Year's or Christmas or anything like that, let me know. And I hope that you're able to find inspiration in the things that we're doing. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and the rest of your the year. We're done. Good luck. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.